Years and years ago, there was a princess named Princess Sita. Now, Princess Sita was the most beautiful maiden in all the land, and it came time for her to be able to choose a suitor that would be able to rule in the kingdom with her. Now, the king wanted Princess Sita to have the most valiant and courageous man to take her hand in marriage. And so, he arranged a tournament. Everyone in the land was invited to this tournament. And what he was going to do was he had Shiva's bow brought to this tournament. Now, it took 10,000 men to lift this bow because it was very large and very heavy. But the king put out a notice saying, whoever was able to string Shiva's bow would be able to have his daughter's hand in marriage. So all the men in the land gathered together because they all wanted to marry Princess Sita because she was very beautiful. And many men tried to string this bow, pulling with all their might to be able to string it. But the bow was just too big, and they were not able to do it. In the crowd waiting for his turn was Rama. Now, Rama was one of the most virtuous and strongest men in the land, and he wanted his chance to be able to string this bow. When it was finally his turn, he grabbed the top of the bow, and he pulled with all of his might, and just before he was about to string the bow cracked in half. Now, when Princess Sita saw what Rama did, she ran towards him and hugged him and was desperately in love with him immediately and was ready to have him be the king. But in the crowd, Rama's stepmother did not want Rama to be the king. She wanted her son to be the king. Now, his stepmother, years and years ago, saved the king's life. And after doing so, the king gave her 2 wishes that she could ask for, anything that she wanted. But she never used those wishes. But tonight, when she saw that Rama had Sita's hand in marriage, she went up to the king and said, I would like to use my 2 wishes today. The first one is I want my son to have the throne instead of Rama. And the second is I want Rama to be banished from the land for 14 years. Now the king was reluctant, but knowing he was bound to his word, let her son be the king and banished Rama for 14 years. Now as Rama was leaving, Princess Sita watched from her window at night, and she couldn't bear the thought of having him leave. So she snuck away and ran out to be with Rama. Rama insisted that she should stay, but after she was persistent, he let her come as well. Deep into the forbidden forest they traveled. Now this forbidden forest had demons and ogres of all type. And to make it a suitable place for the next 10 years, Rama and Sita traveled far and wide, defeating all of the ogres and defeating the demons and clearing it out, trying to make a home for themselves. But Lord Ravana, king of the demons, heard what was happening in the forest. And he was not happy at all. And he wanted Rama dead and to marry Sita in his place. Now Lord Ravana was very mischievous and could take any form that he wanted. So he traveled into the forest and took the form of a perfect deer. Rama saw this deer and began chasing after it, hunting it. But the deer was very darting and very quick, but lured him deeper and deeper and further into the woods, until he was miles from Princess Sita. Now, when he was unable to catch this deer, he knew something must be wrong. Then all of a sudden the deer vanished, and he knew that Princess Sita was in grave danger. He ran as fast as he can, traveling through the forest, trying to make it back to Princess Sita. But when he made it there, it was too late. Princess Sita was gone. As he looked through the sky, he knew that the Lord of the Demons must be to blame. And he saw Lord Ravana laughing in the distance, riding his famous chariot back to Lord Ravana's kingdom. So Rama took up his greatest gear and prepared for battle. And he traveled all the way across the forest to where Lord Ravana reigned. Now, where he reigned was filled with demons and terrors unlike anything he's ever seen. And he stealthily came through the kingdom and was just up to the castle where he was going to sneak through and try and find Princess Sita when Lord Ravana was waiting for him at the gate. Now, Lord Ravana transformed into his true form, a large demon with 10 heads, and he began attacking Ravana with full force. Now, Ravana began defending himself the best he could, and he even managed to slice off 2 or 3 of his heads. But when he did that, the heads grew back in their place like nothing had ever happened. Just when he was running out of all of his might, Lord Ravana retreated back and grabbed his bow and pulled it back with all of his strength, aiming it at Ravana's belly, and struck him straight in the gut. And Lord Ravana fell dead where he stood. Ravana crept through the tower, trying to avoid all the other demons, and found Princess Sita in the highest tower. He grabbed her, ran back out to the entrance, got in Lord Ravana's chariot, and traveled all the way back to their home kingdom. Now, the day they arrived, it was the dawn of the final day of his banishment. And all the people in the land cheered for their arrival and crowned Rama and Sita as the true king and queen for their kingdom. And there was years of peace.